Okay, back to page 28, part 3. Okay, now, that was on the video you were supposed to watch yesterday. So if you haven't done that yet. Homework will not be due until at least the middle of next week. Okay. So I will figure that out, I promise. And let you know the theory. Right now, Nishani, right now you should be able to do everything up to 3-4, including 3-4. Okay, that much should be done. All right, so we are now on part 3. If you do not have something filled in, that means you didn't watch the video yesterday. You'll want to watch that. Actually, it was posted on Thursday. It was posted on Tuesday. So if you look at on Tuesday, and I think the only part you might be missing is number 2. So you need to watch that video. We are starting today right here. 3 to the x equals 7. Now, you just took a quiz that had a problem a lot like this. This isn't it exactly, but on the quiz you had a problem like this. And this is easy. What's the answer to this one? 2. You don't need a calculator. You know 3 to the x is 3 squared, so x must equal 2. Okay, Robbie, we are on the back of page 28, problem number 3. All right, so here we go. This one is not going to work out like this one, because 7 is not a power of 3, right? And a minute ago, I did a hard problem on the board. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like this. And these aren't powers of each other, but you can change them both into 2's. So that's great. Can you change these into anything? No. So the only way to do this problem, the only way, is to use logarithms. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write log on both sides of the equation. And then I want you to remember that one of the most beautiful things about logarithms is that when you take the logarithm of something to a power, that guy comes out in front. Remember that? So now we have x log 3 equals log 7. Now I'm trying to figure out what x is. So all I'm going to do now is divide those sides by the log of 3. And then I will go to my calculator and I will type in log 7 divided by log 3. Now remember, we talked about this the other day. You need to remember to close this parentheses right here. Make sure you close that. So log 7, close the parentheses, divided by log 3. Did you get 1.7712? It doesn't really tell me how to round off, so I'll just do 4 decimal places. Awesome. You have to close the parentheses on the top one, yes.
Not the bottom one, though.
Well, this is going to come in automatically. If you forget to close that, it's going to be fine. Most people automatically close it because it just looks better, but it'll be all right on the bottom. The top, you will not get the right answer if you don't close it. But that wasn't too hard, was it? Let's try the next one. What are you going to do with this? 4 to the x equals 10. Okay, now see, Quincy's already a step ahead, which is fine. You're going to need to take the logarithm of both sides. What's going to happen to this x? It moves to the front. So you're going to have x log 4 equal to the log of 10. So most of you are already typing. Hopefully you're typing in log 10 divided by log 4. And hopefully you got 1.6610 if we round off to 4 decimal places. Anybody have a question or an issue there? Now, when you look at the next problem, you say, oh, look at those decimals. Does it really matter? No, not one bit. We can make the numbers as bad as we want. It doesn't matter. You're going to your calculator anyhow. So we're going to take the logarithm of both sides. And then the magic is this guy comes out in front. And we're going to divide. So we have the log of 9.72 divided by the log of 1.73. And did you come up with 4.1491? This isn't bad, is it? Not bad at all. D, okay, a little complication in there. What do you think you might want to do with letter D? Can you divide by 6? Absolutely. And not only can you, but you have to. Your first step, if you have an extra number stuck out there in front, your first step is get rid of it. That 6 has got to go. Don't take the logarithm with that 6 out there or you're going to be wrong. Gotta get rid of that 6. So we'll have 2 to the x plus 1 equals 3. Now, I don't want you worrying about the fact that exponent's a little bigger. No big deal. Take the logarithm of both sides. Pull it out in front. Now, can I still divide both sides by log 2?
Yeah.
But now I'm going to have x plus 1 equals log 3 over log 2. Now, can I still type this in on my calculator?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not x. I'll have to subtract 1. Yep, I'll have to subtract 1 from it. So for x, the actual final answer, I got 0.58, I guess 50 if I round it off, 5850? Is that what you got?
Yeah.
I'm loving this. Okay, how about E? You want those quizzes to be worth 6 each or 9 each?
9.
10.
This one not. This one
Make it
not.
even.
Yeah, 3 problems, 10 points. Yeah, that's even.
I mean-
4.3.
All right, step 1. Come on, we just talked about it.
Move that X.
You gotta get rid of the 81. Now, you can say, oh, but Mrs.
told
Ford, it
y'all.
doesn't divide in. I don't care. You have to get rid of the 81. You have to. Now, do you see how the problem has an E in it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do something a little different here. Instead of LOGing both sides, I'm gonna LN both sides. And then, wait, it gets even better. This is the same as log base C of e to the x. What did you just tell me? What happens here? So all we have is x equals ln 200 over 81. That's it. That's the whole answer. Because when you ln and e, they cancel. Every time you ln and e, they cancel. So our answer is ln, make sure you're pressing the right button, 200 divided by 81.
2.4691.
What'd you get?
2.4691.
Try that again. I think you get 0.9039, yeah. Try that again, Chris. Make sure you're you have the whole fraction in parentheses?
Okay, there, yeah, I got that.
Yeah, you need the whole fraction in parentheses. Alright, let's try the next one. The ones with these are really easy. Because as long as you're using ln, stuff cancels. Alright, step one, here we go. We're going to divide by 17, so e to the x equals 93/17. I am not alarmed by that number. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to deal with it. Now what? ln both sides. And because over here I'm lning an e, that's gone, and x equals ln 93/17. That's it. That's all there is to it. 1.6994. Yeah, Deshani?
I put 1.700.
It depends how you're supposed to round it off. If it says to 4 decimal places, then this would be the correct rounding. If it says to fewer than that, then you would have the correct rounding. And there aren't any directions, so I'm just kind of making up 4 decimal places, because we had another set of problems if that's what it said to do. Alright, now we're ready for the next page. Alright, so how do we start? Yeah, kids, I don't care how scary the problem looks, they're always easy, especially if they have e's. Divide by 50. That goes in evenly, so I can go ahead and just say 4, right? Now what? What happens now? Natural log both sides, ln both sides. And of course, the minute I do that, I get all excited because this goes away. So I have negative 0.112x equal to ln 4. So how will I get x? What will I need to do to get x? Take ln 4 and divide it by negative 0.112. Again, you got a calculator, so you do not need to be frightened of that. I'll make sure you close that parentheses around that 4 though. Oh gosh, this time I got negative 12.3776. Alrighty, try that last one on your own. Try that very last one on your own. See if you can come up with an answer. .8576 is one possibility. 8578. I have the idea. Let's give it a shot and see. We're in the right ballpark no matter what. So did you take ln 19/3, get that number, and divide it by 0.17? Okay. Let's see, ln 19/3 divided by 0.17. I got 10.8578. I can't remember who matched that.
I didn't get 19 here. I just divided it and put it in decimals.
Are you just running the line?
What you want to do is don't ever type it back in. You don't need to. It's right there. So just hit divided by. And it'll take that number divided by. All right, are we all good on here? All right, now I want you to, the next section we're not going to do because we're going to do the next section, section 5. So go to section 5. It's the same kind of problems.
That's a lie.
All right. So here we go. I know you're all dying to go to lunch, but we're not going to lunch till we get through a few of these, okay? So here we go. We can do this. We've already done some of them. Anybody have an idea? Number 1, this is section 5. Log base 3, 5x
Squared equals.
Oh, I heard someone say it. Who said it? What'd you say?
3 squared equals 5.
Yeah, this is exactly what you did on your quiz, only it's bigger. You're going to say 3 to the second equals 5x plus 7. If you have one logarithm, period, then you want to translate it. And when you translate it, this is what we're talking about. 3 to the second equals 5x plus 7. Well, everybody knows 3 to the second is 9. Subtract 7. And the answer to the problem is 2/5.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Now, problem B. We have talked about this, but it was before Thanksgiving, so I think you may have forgotten it. This is really the same kind of problem, but it has an issue. The issue is, instead of there being just one logarithm over here, there are 2. Exactly. You cannot do the problem in this form. This isn't doable. These have to be put together into one logarithm. These 2 things have to be put together. And you'll remember when you put them together, you put them together as a times or a divide. That's how they go together. Oh yes, that's starting to ring some bells. You put them together as a times or a divide. Now, these 2 are added, so that means when I put them together, they go in as a times. So this is going to be x squared minus 3x. I took x times x minus 3. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Now, once I get those 2 put together, then it looks like this problem. So what's my strategy? Oh, there's no base. Yes, there is. It's understood to be 10.
We won.
LOG means base 10, right? So we're going to say 10 to the first equals x squared minus 3x. 10 to the first equals x squared minus 3x. 10 to the first equals x squared minus 3x. What do I do with that?
Subtract the 10 over.
Subtract the 10 over. All right, we can do that.
Wait, why is it minus 3?
We said
Marley.
that's a subtraction there.
Can you distribute the x?
So when I multiply these 2 together, it's x squared minus 3x.
But it's log x plus 3.
No, it's not.
No, it's what you're combining before you multiply.
We're on letter B. You might be looking at
No,
C.
go over. Okay. Okay, never mind. It's fine.
All right, so now what? Now what do I do?
Factor.
Now we can factor. And of course, like always, if you don't want to factor, what other options would you have? Quadratic formula, or completing the square, but this is going to be hard to do, so probably the quadratic formula or factor it. It does factor, and what are my answers? X equals 5 or -2. Now I'm going to blow your mind. -2 is extraneous. And the reason that it's extraneous is, if I go back to my original problem and put it in right here, this would say find the log of -2. And you remember something about taking a logarithm of negative numbers? No solution. You can't do it. If you tried on your calculator, go ahead, hit log -2. It will say error.
So whenever you get a negative.
No, that's a great question. Robbie says, so every time I get a negative, I should cross it out. And the answer is no. If the problem had been this. Now, it wasn't, but let's just say if we had a problem like this and we got -2, -2 would be fine because it would make this one 3 and this one 8, and those are both positive and it's okay. So what makes it a bad answer is when you plug it in if it makes it negative.
That was like -5.
Yeah. So, Robbie, same thing could be true. Let's say the problem had been x minus 6. Then 5 would also be extraneous because when you put 5 in, you get negative here, and that's where it matters.
That means no solution.
That would be no solution at all, yeah. Okay? We're gonna do one more. Hang on. Marley, we're gonna do your problem now. Woo! Alright, so here is Marley's problem. She was doing 5C. Which is basically the same problem, except as Marley pointed out, that's a plus. Now, that doesn't change a thing about how we start. You must put these two together. Okay? Now, putting those two together means they're going to go together as a plus, as a times or a divide. They're going to be multiplied, so it's going to be x squared plus 3x this time. What's the base here? 10. So 10 to the first equals x squared plus 3x. So x squared plus 3x minus 10. Does that one factor? That one is x plus 5, x minus 2. So did you get -5 and +2? Now come back over here. Can you put -5 in here? Nope, so we're going to cross that one out. Can we put 2 in? Would 2 be okay?
Yes.
Yep, so the answer to the problem is 2. Alright? Alright, let's see. I need you back here. At 12:22. 12:22 is our end time. Chris, would you pop us off up there?
I will.